So, is built in the US of A always the best?
I'd like to say yes.
Okay.
However, I'm not sure it always is.
Well, okay, let's dig into that. So this was inspired by Gibson's new Generations collection. Right?
Yes.
It's the new acoustic line that's starting at $9.99.
Bam.
Available right now, except for you can't find them anywhere. It's already sold out. You can't get them. Just hey, look, there's a guitar. No, there's some out there, but they're gone already. Now, so it is starting at $9.99. It's sort of ending at a relatively low price too.
Yeah.
That is low for a USA build.
For a Gibson made in America acoustic guitar.
Because like Taylor Guitars is living in that range too, with the the Grand Theater and the American Dreams. That's sort of like the $12.99 range.
Yeah.
Which is
up to like sort of 16. Yeah.
Pretty darn cool. And they're good. The Grand Theaters I love.
They're awesome.
The American Dreams I like too, but they're just too big for me.
Right.
Because I'm not a big macho man like you.
No.
Cry macho. Clint Eastwood. Anyway, so we want to kind of dive into that a little bit in the history of this. We're looking at sort of like what Martin did 2 years ago with the SC13CE. And we're seeing how that is now being transitioned into John Mayer's new custom guitar as well.
Crazy.
Signature coming out. And we heard some rumors prior from some friends of ours that work up there at old Martin that there's some cool stuff coming about in that range too, USA range wise.
Whoa.
Now, don't get me wrong, John Mayer's, don't get excited. That's not going to be $9.99.
No.
Add a 4 in front of the $9.99 probably.
I was going to say, or there might be a 9 might be the first number. There just maybe is an extra number tagged on the end.
It does have the 42 stylings or the 41 stylings at least on it. So never mind. If you got the John Mayer saying on there, yeah, you're a $10,000 guitar. Never mind.
49, he says. 49.
I know, that's the price of the modern deluxe series, right? Yeah, never mind.
That's why I love Baxter, because he's an optimist.
I am an optimist. I'm just so
eternally.
I'm like, one day
it's one of the reasons.
American Professionals will be $9.99 again. Those days that ship has sailed.
If you meant never mind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We digress.
I'm still looking off into the Wonderlands over there.
Oh yeah.
So we were sort of digging into this. So Gibson has done this before.
They have.
They did it in 2017 with the M2 series.
I believe was that the Amazon deal?
Yes, like the Melody Maker.
Yeah, almost.
Now that guitar was not good.
Why would you say that?
No, we've all played. I'm like, I want somebody's gonna be like, I have one. It's amazing. I'm like,
I love it. It's better than my Les Paul.
I would much rather have a Jerry James nickel Epiphone.
Yeah.
1,000 zillion percent, dude. And I hate that word.
Not even a question.
It's not even a question. Like that guitar is solid. It's great. It's built hard to rock, just like Jerry James Nichols is. Hard to rock.
I feel like they should have made that guitar like 5% bigger, just to like match his giant body,
or smaller, just to make it more comedic.
That would have been awesome.
Like the Corey Wong Strat, and shrink it down a little bit. But so is going modern, or is it going into building it in USA and cheapening it? Is that something we want to see, or do we want to see a step up a little bit from like you have a great sort of Mexican to overseas built guitar that sort of like gets us into that USA? What is the best trajectory?
I mean, I think most people just want a better guitar, right? I mean, sometimes people trick themselves and they say, okay, it's made in America, it's going to be better. But I mean, there's a ton of Mexican-made Fenders that I'd rather have than the Performer Series.
That's really funny.
I hate to say it, but I think they feel better. I think they sound better. I think they look better.
Well, the Performer Series is not even like, I don't feel like it's a thing anymore. Fender
it's really not.
They haven't marketed it in forever. I haven't seen any of those come up on the list from Fender as far as available. It's not being manufactured at the same level.
Right. But I'm just saying, I'll take a better guitar at this point. Now, before you go all crazy, I would rather have an American-made guitar that's amazing. That is the ultimate thing. But if you're talking about, hey, I don't have $5,000, I don't have $2,000, then I just want the best guitar at that point. And sometimes those are not the made in America
It is
guitars.
tough, because I can use this and equate this to the Gibson acoustic thing and the Martin acoustic and the Taylor acoustic thing, because those are the three the big cats. A Taylor 114E kills it.
It's a great guitar. It's just a good guitar.
A GS Mini mahogany
kills it.
I will play that guitar almost over any guitar, hands down. It's $4.99 or $5.49 right now. It's $5.49, I think. I'm in these old price ranges in my head.
And I know people are thinking, oh, you guys are biased. You play Taylor. You sell Taylors. Well, we do, but it's because they're awesome. If you don't believe us, don't take our word for it. Go to a shop and play a GS Mini and play a 114.
I don't care where you buy it from.
Nope.
Order one from Sweetwater Guitar Center
yeah.
right now. You cannot go wrong with the GS Mini. If you don't like a GS Mini, the only thing you wouldn't like is the smaller scaled neck.
Sure.
Smaller nut width.
I don't love them because I don't love small guitars like that the way Baxter does. So for me, 114, you know. But
I also love Gibson acoustics too. Love them. Like that Hummingbird of mine is the jam. Where that friend Ethan, that great dear friend of mine, I call him my surrogate son. He just bought a 2017 J45 custom shop, I believe. Obsessed with it.
And it's probably amazing.
I think he sleeps with it.
I would.
There's these beautiful like California girls like that all want to like date him, and he's like, I have to go play guitar now.
I'd be like, Christy, you got to sleep with the kids tonight. It's me and the J45.
There's
Sorry.
Yeah, so we're trying to find that bridge, that line between like the USA and like when they bring the level of build down so far. Do I want that, or do I want like a really top level built-in Mexico guitar? And I think we're going to both lean towards the Mexican version.
I mean, the lines, we talked about this before in videos, the lines are blurring. I would almost rather it be like, get to an awesome made Mexico version or wherever, and then, you know, here's your USA. And there's maybe a smoother transition as opposed to where they do this, where there's, you know, made Mexico guitars that are maybe better or fancier or, you know.
Well, it's tricky because I'll use Taylor in particular. Like, let's say the 114E versus the Grand Theater, that's like, it's about a $500 difference.
Yes.
And I'm going to get electronics in the Taylor and the Mexican built one, Tecate, versus the El Cajon one. I'm getting no electronics unless I jump up that 16 to 1700 range. It's a substantial investment to do that.
Sure.
And that 114 sounds really freaking good.
It does.
And then it's tricky. So if I'm looking at it budget wise, if it's below $1,000, I don't have an option. Now let's say I'm looking at this 114, that's $800. I'm looking at this $999 Gibson. You need to play them side to side.
Yes.
You have to play them. These sound demos have not been that impressive thus far.
I heard one that I thought, okay, that sounds really good.
I did too, but I imagine that's the big jumbo guy.
Probably.
Which, you know, you got to be able to handle that too. It's like playing a Loudon O series. If you can't make that thing sound good, you just shouldn't be playing guitar. That thing just strums like it vomits angel wings and angel tears out.
Well, no, you got the little sound port on the new Gibsons,
which I'm okay with.
I know. I think it's cool because it probably is going to give you, you know, it's probably going to sound better to you playing it, right? And then plugged in, I'm sure it's going to sound fine. I'm going to throw a wrench in the system. Do you remember the Epiphone Master Builds?
Yes.
I'd be shocked if this new Gibson is better than that, because those were great acoustic guitars.
I don't think it can be better. It's just no, because even within the lines, when we're talking about comparing the U.S. and the Mexican built ones, it's
those are just awesome.
And then it bridges the question, like, do we want to see Gibson in Mexico? Is that a thing, or is like, do we? I mean, I don't see that as any point right now. If they can obviously build something in the USA for $999,
sure, there's
no room in the market for it, so they've deleted that question. But if they could do it for $999, could they do it in Mexico for $699?
Nope.
The exact same guitar, just with a made in Mexico stamp on it. Is it worth, you know, $300 more?
To some folks, absolutely.
Okay, but like that's a lot of money. If I'm a first time guitar buyer, I don't have that money.
It's true.
So it's tricky. And then and I look at, you know, some of the companies have sort of transitioned and trying. Is it building it like in your factory where you do it? Is that the best thing necessarily? Versus having an overseas outreach that could be more affordable, that could do it. Like, you know, Sheeran had huge problems with their manufacturing base when they launched that line.
I'd rather have something, and I'm not talking about like, I mean, I do like the idea of things that are built in America, but not forgetting that. We're just talking about the best guitar. So I like the idea of someone who has been, you know, a factory that's been building guitars for 40 years in Mexico, to me, is better than, you know, maybe people who are not used to, train ups and just because it happens to be in the country of origin for that guitar maker. Right.
God, it's such a cool idea, though.
So, fantastic idea. And I think, you know, given a little time, maybe, you know.
Well, we're still rooting for that one because it's we love those guys, and like, we love
those guys, and I do think the philosophy, the idea behind it, was fantastic.
And
it is fantastic.
And there's still a chance.
So, yes.
There's still a chance, but it's a tough road. You know, we're seeing it all here. This is where Gibson has a shot at doing this. They obviously have the manufacturing place. These guitars are going to not have the handwork that the regular Gibsons
Sure.
are going to have by any stretch. And when you get to Gibson Custom Shop, it's a whole other level. These will be CNC'd for the primary most of it.
Sure.
And that's okay.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with it too. It's going to be consistent. Even there's no frills to them. Now, do we see? It's kind of like blends in a little bit, change the subject some, but we see some of these modern designs in these lower price points. Do we see that sort of blending into some of their higher stuff? Because with the Mayors in particular,
Yeah.
that was a Mexican built SC13CE in that sort of sub $2,000 range. We're going to now see that in that definitely above 2,000, probably in that closer to 3,000 standard line series if we see it as a standard line, close to $10,000 as a John Mayer special.
Maybe that's a cool way to do market research. Hey, do people like this enough for us to invest in making high-end models? You know, or especially when it's sort of a newer technology, a thing we're not used to seeing. I think that's sort of a neat way to do it. Put out a Made in Mexico version. Do people love it? Yes. Cool.
And
Let's expand it.
Bipolar guitar enthusiast is what I call myself, because I am a purist. I love vintage stuff, vintage
Me
gear.
too.
I love the vintage specs, but I also love when the guitar brands innovate. I love it. I like that Gibson's doing a sandal on the top. I like that Martin did a detachable neck on a freaking guitar. If there's going to do a USA version like that, that's nutty. Taking that sort of NT Taylor design and doing their own thing to it. Like, put a truss rod and pop the neck off. What?
Bam. Done.
I think it's cool that they're trying different stuff, because Martin's been sort of hobbled by, like, they have to stay in this sort of world of like D28 triple op. That's it. Let them spread their wings a bit. If it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. I still play my D28s and my HT28s. And
I think the smart thing, you know, and we've said this before in the past about Gibson, nothing wrong with doing those crazy models. Just don't take away, don't make your standard, you know, D28 with, you know, double cutaways and detachable neck. You know, make the regular 28 and then make your crazy thing too.
well, that's what we want Gibson to do, is be innovative still.
Sure.
Like, I'm actually really excited about this. I'm curious to see how it does in the long haul.
I hope that we play them and we're like, holy crap, these are amazing.
Me too.
But
We shall see.
time will tell.
So let us know your thoughts on this strangeness that's happening out there right now. We're pretty excited about it. I think it's a cool world. It's fun.
It's exciting times, right?
It's just cool to see it. There's lots of crazy things happening in the news, from all the stuff at GCs and Sweetwaters and all the British guitar shops, and then all the rock stars coming back to young people listening to them again, and the older cats. It's neat. But this is fascinating us as well, and like, we want to know what you think on it. If it's a thumbs up, thumbs down, or keep the USA built stronger. Your thoughts.
I mean, maybe we're going to launch our Made in Iceland casino guitar line.
That would be the worst
We've
idea
been talking
ever.
about it.
4 times as expensive,
Yeah.
and the import fees are just as high. No, that's it. Take them home, Johnny.
There you go. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click that bell so you don't miss these discussions in the future. Thanks as always for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.